Hey everyone, thanks for listening to Sex with Emily. Happy New Year's, lovers. On today's show, we're focusing on better sex and dating practices for the new year. I've got fellow blogger and podcaster Jessa Hinton. Her podcast is Anything Goes with Jessa Hinton, and she's in the studio to talk about all things love, sexuality, toys, and more. Thanks for listening.
Look into his eyes. They're the eyes of a man obsessed by sex. Eyes that mock our sacred institutions. Bedroom eyes, they call them in a bygone day.
Hey, Emily, you got a boyfriend? Because my man E here, he just got his heart broken. He thinks you're kind of cute.
A girl's gotta have her standards. Oh my.
Do women know about shrinkage?
Isn't it common knowledge?
What do you mean, like laundry? It shrinks?
Can we not talk about sex so much?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, I feel so good.
Being bad feels pretty good.
But you know, Emily's not the kind of girl you just play with.
You're listening to Sex with Emily. We're talking about sex, relationships, and everything in between. For more information, go to sexwithemily.com. You can check out all of our podcasts, our blogs, our videos. We update that goddamn site every day. Oh, and we have a new website, like launching this moment. So check that out as well. And sign up for our mailing list because we give really good emails. And I love you all. Happy New Year. Thanks for listening. And I'm here with Menace.
Hello.
Hi.
It has been a while
I know.
since we've been together. And
There's
last
so
time I saw you recorded the live show, which was amazing, by the way.
Thank
It
you.
was so much fun.
Thank you. I know. I'm really glad. I was just having, a few panic attacks beforehand.
Oh, yeah. I was there to witness it.
I know. I was in the green room. I was nervous because I was giving like a monologue.
Yeah.
So Menace gets there. So hi, Jessa. So Jessa is here. Just dive in.
Hi. How you
Jessa's
doing?
awesome. Jessa's hot. She's got a new podcast at Podcast One. You usually sit in this chair.
I
probably.
do.
And you're amazing. So feel free to jump in anytime because we're going to get to all of your stuff as well. And but we need to. So 10 years in podcasting.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We started the very first year of podcasting, which was weird and amazing. Who knew what the hell it would be? But we also did a live show on CBS 6 months after. I got a live show on CBS Radio, and I met Menace. He was working there.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
And that's Menace, Jessa. And so I did a live show to commemorate it at the Improv, and I was nervous because I was doing a monologue, like a 30-minute monologue. And in my mind, it was supposed to be 20, but it was 30. And I'm like, I'm going to memorize it. But then, I'm a procrastinator, and I have intense anxiety around that. And then it was last minute. We're in the green room, 10 minutes before the show, and my papers are fine because I couldn't memorize. I didn't memorize. I had note cards. And Menace was just trying to be nice and supportive, but then he just kept getting on his phone.
I just kept on getting annoyed. I'm like, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. And then after the 10th, panic attack, I was over it.
And then
you're
Gary-
going to be
That's
okay.
such a guy thing to do.
Right.
Oh.
He was
Like,
not
yeah, you're
supportive.
gonna be okay.
Why?
Yeah.
Because if I can sit there and console her the entire time,
He's not a
it's going to
consoler.
make
He's not. I don't go for
it's going to make absolutely zero difference. She's still going to have the same type of mood, so who
Right.
cares?
Sometimes we
I'd
just
rather-
need you to listen
Yeah.
and just be
She had
there.
enough people around there listening to her.
No,
I
and then Gary Busey, walked in.
Yeah, it was very random.
It was
So
such
Gary-
a random night.
It's random.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, hi. He's like, are you the sex girl? I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go do my whole
Yeah.
life downstairs. Yes, hi.
Yeah, she's in the middle of a panic attack, and then so we're at the Hollywood Improv, and here comes Gary Busey just walking up the stairs into the room.
Yeah. And it was
like,
pretty funny. And then
yeah.
Dr. Drew was there. He was very kind of unsupportive, too. He's like, Emily, don't worry. It's a very forgiving room. And I was like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
They're going to forgive me for fucking up. Thank you very much.
It was great, but I think my favorite moment of the night, I don't want to give away too much, but
Oh, yeah.
somebody
The
that-
live. Okay, if you guys want to hear it, everyone's emailing us. It's coming out in a few days,
Yeah.
January 5th.
Yeah. And
The podcast will be the live show.
my favorite moment is a long time emailer came to the
Listener.
show, and we put him on stage, and that was absolutely amazing.
Jamal, because
Yeah.
he was actually serving in the military, and he'd been emailing us for 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
All the time. He was in Iraq, I think, right?
Yeah.
And he'd always email us, we'd always answer him, Jamal, we'd give him shout outs. And then in the middle of the show, so I got through the monologue, thank God. And then we're just sitting there, I'm like, what are we doing with the podcast? Because I hadn't thought about it. But
Yeah.
it was funny. And it was you were awesome, though. Thank you.
Oh,
and
thank
you and
you.
Anderson were there. Anderson's my other co-host. They'd never met, so that's weird because I do 2 different shows. That was another drama, not drama, but interesting collusion. That's a word. Come togetherness.
Anyways,
So
she
then,
doesn't care about all our stories.
so what happened? And she does. She looks super
Oh, okay.
interested.
I'm the newbie, so I'm learning as we're talking.
She looks really interested. So then we're sitting there in the middle, and producer Madison brings up questions from the audience, and one's from Jamal. And I thought it was like fate. I'm like, Jamal's here?
No way.
And then he came up on stage, and it was great.
It was super
It was a
cool.
beautiful night.
You have to hear it.
Check out the show. Totally. So,
Let me ask you about the holidays, though. Did you go anywhere?
no.
No.
I tried to. I thought about it, but
Yeah.
I just really like hung out, meditated, did
chilled.
nothing. Yeah, you know, when you're Jewish, it's like, thank God no one's going to bother me for a few days. 'Cause
Wait.
you're all up in your trees and stuff. I can do nothing and not care.
Is the guy you're dating, is he Jewish?
No,
No?
no. But he went home
Ooh.
to see his family.
How disappointed was your mother to
She
find
doesn't
out?
care. I know. She's like, he's a doctor, and he's not Jewish. Damn. No, she didn't
Almost,
care. She didn't
almost.
care at all. My mom's chill. She's just like, I'm just glad you like someone for a while.
No, jeez.
But you'd be really proud of me. Just I want to know how you feel about it. Because you're in a relationship, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, and how long have you been with your boyfriend?
Very new, 2 months.
Oh, okay. So it's new.
Yes.
Yeah, that is new.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good. That's good to talk about. So I've been dating him for like a year on and off, but we've been committed for a few months, and I'm not a huge committer, like
At all.
open relationships,
Mm-hmm.
not really great. But he's someone I actually really like. And one of my issues, which I wasn't even going to talk about, but I'm looking at you going, okay, I should, is that women like I like compliments. How do you feel about that? Do you?
I actually am not good at receiving them at all.
Oh,
I
you're
think,
not?
Yeah, I call my boyfriend. He compliments me all the time, and I say he's full of shit. It's actually something I need to work on.
Wow, really? So he's
Yeah.
always like, "You look hot, baby." You're
Yeah, and
great."
I'm like, it'll be with no makeup on too. I'm like, you're fucking lying. Like,
No,
don't
but
lie to
you're
me.
beautiful.
I'm not. Well, I give a lot, but I'm not
Right.
good at receiving them at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So, well, I like them. They make me feel really good. I just like them every once in a while. Like I put effort in. And so I said to him, I've said, listen, it just once in a while, you could like just say, you know, hey, you look good. You look hot, like, you know, and even if you don't think it, maybe you could just say it.
So you told him that?
I did. Dude, I'm getting so good at
jeez.
communicate, which is what I talk about
And
all the time is communicate. Like,
Sure.
Communication's a lubrication, but yet
what was his response
he
on
just
that?
looked at me. I said, listen, maybe you're like Menace. Menace thinks, I said, you were in our conversation.
Yeah.
I said, Menace thinks that you can't tell bitches what they, if you say to them, you look hot all the time, they already know it, and they're just going to think that they have you wrapped around the finger, which is stupid.
Which is
And so,
absolutely true.
If that's
But
the
go
reason
ahead.
why you're not telling me, that's bullshit. So tell me. And then, but maybe you're not thinking that. Just tell me anyway. So that's how we had
And then
the
he said,
conversation.
"Do you understand? You know who you're with? Like that's my lifeblood. I need compliments.
And it's not
I
'cause
don't
I'm
even
so
eat.
insecure, it just
I
makes me
just live off of compliments.
Just makes me feel good. So I'm having good relationship conversations. So
That's
it's
awesome
all
that
good.
I'm in them.
Yeah, I know. Which is weird. You're a don't though.
Oh, I don't. Okay.
Here's what not to do.
Okay.
So that was fun. How about the holidays?
Great. I went to New Orleans. Well, I went to San Francisco first. Went to New Orleans and then Belize, Honduras, and Mexico a few times. You can check it all out.
crazy.
On my Instagram right now.
You're just a crazy traveler.
Instagram.com
Well, it's
/menace. Sorry. I was saying my other radio show,
Hashtag
The Woody Show.
plug.
Slow the F down. I've got a crazy
Hashtag
one.
follow.
In the new year. Happy New Year, everyone. Okay, everybody, I need to tell you one thing. This toy I need to tell you about has been a game changer for my life. And so many of you have jumped on the intensity train. So we actually did a podcast on it called Sexploring a New You. And I know that I always talk about products that are going to improve your sex life and change your life and all that, but this one truly did. It's not just sexually, but it has extreme health benefits as well. It's a twofer. It's a sex toy and a genius health invention. It actually does your Kegel exercises for you, which are so important to your stronger pelvic floor. You don't sneeze, you don't pee, you have more orgasms. And I know you all know that it's important to your Kegel exercises to have a strong pelvic floor, but nobody remembers to do them. Nobody does them correctly. And this toy does it for you. It looks like a rabbit vibrator, but no, you actually put it inside you. You put this electrostimulation gel, which might sound, ooh, stimulation. It actually feels really good. And you do it every day for 10 minutes for a month. And then after that, just maintenance. And then your pelvic floor, you've pelvic floor muscles of steel. Check out the Intensity by Pourmoi. That's POURMOI.com. Pleasure with a purpose.
Thank you.
So this is one more thing I have to mention because I know I'm just going to forget this because I just want to get all into Jessa here and all of us, is that January 16th and 17th in Los Angeles at the Universal Hilton Hotel, there's the Sexual Health Expo. And it is the fourth one we've done in the last year. The first one was last January, and we took it all over the country. And it's the leading sex educators in the country for 2 days talking, like teaching workshops, like little mini 1 hours, and then like the latest and greatest sex toys. And then I think Menace and I are going to be there doing a live. I'll be there doing a live show.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Menace.
There's something with my work that I might have to be in New York, but they haven't told me the date yet. So
Okay.
if I don't have to be in New York, I will be
Jess
there
is going to
with
fill
you.
in for you.
I was just going to say.
she'll be 1,000 times better than me anyway.
Well, we'll talk after.
Yeah, just have her do it.
You guys, if you want to go to the expo, email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com. Tell me why you want to go, and we'll give you a ticket. Each one's good for 2 people. So email us.
Sweet.
And we'll let you know about that. So, hi, Jessa.
Hello.
How are you?
No,
I'm
tell
doing
us
good.
all
Tell
about
us all
you.
about you and your podcast.
I love it. I think we just recorded our 16th episode.
Congratulations.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Podcast One. Yeah, it pretty much is anything goes. So we talk a lot about sex and relationships. And I'm no expert, so it's actually nice to sit here because sometimes I feel like I'm fucking crazy. But then I'll get fans that like write in like, no, I think that too.
Yeah.
So being very open-minded, I understand with your whole committing thing, that was my issue.
Really?
But being open-minded, I feel that I can touch base with a lot more open-minded people. It's just people aren't really comfortable coming out first and saying like, oh, well, this turns me on, or, I hate when my boyfriend does this, until I say something. They're like, that's me too.
Right. You give them the freedom. You make them feel comfortable that there's someone else out there like them who's
Pretty much,
experiencing
yeah.
it. And when I started, I was not the expert, and I still sometimes I'm like, really, but sometimes I just felt like if something's true to you and you just say it, like there's going to be other people who are, aligned. So clearly they are. Yeah, they're vibing with that. So it's Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, it's at Jessa Hinton. We'll
Yes,
just get
ma'am.
that out of the way. JESSAHINTON. And then your podcast, Anything Goes with Jessa Hinton. So
What's your background? Where are you from?
Born and raised here, actually.
Oh,
I lived in
really?
Vegas a few
Oh.
years. Yeah. And just recently got into, I guess, the industry. Later on, Playboy had found me at 27, which is like grandma years for
Right.
Playboy.
Yeah.
because you were that hot.
And
Smart,
just had a
sexy.
kid. And just
Wow.
got me and my husband separated. So it was kind of like the year of me, like kind of
Wow,
like just coming
good.
into my own. And throughout like my adolescence, I was more of a tomboy. I played with more G.I. Joes than Barbies. I never really owned being a woman as much as I do now. I still dress like this. I don't really care. But when I did Playboy, that kind of like opened doors as far as like, okay, well, once in a while I can get dressed up and get the compliments, and feel like a lady. But that was one of the biggest things that I've done was Playboy, and I'm grateful for them. And I just do a lot of other things now.
And your big thing was that you were the first bisexual playmate.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Would you think that there would have been a bisexual playmate before? What year was
Everybody is bisexual with Patron or vodka.
That's what I always
it? Dude,
say.
he's been saying that for 10
It's
years.
very true. And you know what's weird is even my
Tequila is
most
the female Viagra.
it is.
Yes, see?
It is. Like that's true.
Finally.
Finally the one thing that you say
Yeah.
that I agree with so far has been this.
Yes.
No, a lot of girls claim to be bisexual but haven't had emotional relationships with women. They've had sexual relationships, but I could see myself settling down with a woman the same as I could with a man. That being said, some of the women that I've been into have either been bi as well, so they've kind of went more of the male road,
Okay.
or they've been crazier than most men that I've dated. So
Right.
with
The woman.
Playboy, I think I like actually made out with a bunch of playmates at the parties. And again, I was sober. They were drunk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you sober now? Are you still
I am sober.
Okay.
Yes.
So you didn't even need the tequila.
No. When I hook up, it's because I want to.
Right,
not because,
exactly. So are you still bisexual?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like
Yeah, very
so
much
you
so.
and your partner, your new boyfriend of 2 months.
Yes, very new.
And so how did you meet him?
Actually, through Instagram.
What?
The last few relationships that I've had that have been serious have been from social media. And he gets so
Really?
mad that I say it because it sounds stupid.
That's the way
No,
of the
that's
world.
how people are meeting these days. But it's
Especially when
very-
you don't have time to go
Yeah.
out and date. Like I don't have time. So I saw a picture of him and I was like, he's hot. I knew
is
somebody
hot.
that thank you. I knew somebody that knew him and I said, hey, what's his deal? She forgot to tell me his age. So I clicked with him right away. And within the first few dates, he had mentioned something because he's from Iran. And he had mentioned something that when he came over here, they called him Borat in junior high. And I'm like, junior high, Borat? I'm like, how old are you? And he goes, how old do you think? I'm like, I don't know, 29, 30, because I'm 31.
Right.
He goes, no, younger. And I'm like, how young? And he goes, I'm 22. And I was like, check, please. Like,
Right.
really? And I couldn't help it. Like, he's very mature for his age, for even a 30-year-old. So we just kind of kept going. And I don't ever run into the age issue unless I'm telling people our
Right.
age.
Yeah.
Besides that, I see no difference in age. So
Right. Okay. That's good. That's good. So it's vibing. You're right. Age is only a number.
Yeah, and it's very rare though. It all checks out too online because what people put online is what they.
Right. Because you thought he was
Yeah.
cute on Instagram, but maybe he's a douchebag.
I was
Clearly
expecting
not.
that, and I was okay with that because I just got out of a very serious relationship. So I was looking kind of for the rebound, and he was so pretty. So I'm like, oh, he's going to be an idiot. And I was hoping,
Like safe.
I was
Right.
hoping for that.
Yeah.
And our dinner turned into a 3-hour dinner.
Wow.
And we hung out almost every single day since. But it was the committing, like, do I want to commit right now? I just got out of a relationship. And I wanted to just date and be open. And I
Right.
was dating a girl at the time. I was dating another guy at the time. And it kind of just like fell into place where we're like, well, we don't really want to fuck anybody else. So.
Wow. So then you guys are just fucking each other now.
Yes.
So what about? Do you think eventually you might open up and want to like bring another woman in or have a
He's not into
threesome?
that. No, his culture. He doesn't understand. What's weird is he found a toy in my room, and first of all, toys for him is like, why do you need it? And for
Right.
me, I'm 31. I've had lots of toys, and so it's kind of to stroke his ego and be like, you're fine. It's just sometimes I want different, or sometimes I just want to take care of myself. But to him, he doesn't understand how females can have sex. He doesn't get it.
Right. He's younger.
So
maybe not as many partners.
I think also the culture, being
Right.
from Iran.
Oh my God.
He understands because we live in Los Angeles and he understands homosexuality, but I think he understands more guys and why he thinks girls are confused, I believe, when they hook up. So that being said, I've never really had a threesome. I don't think I've ever really wanted to.
Okay.
And out of all my friends, they thought I'd be the first one
Yeah.
too. No, I'm a very selfish lover. Like when I'm with somebody and I'm with them committed, like that's mine and I'm theirs. And I like that about myself. That being said, I don't think in the future, if I was in a marriage for 10 years, maybe I need to spice it up. I'm not
Right.
throwing it out of the window.
Exactly.
But for right now, there's no interest
And the
for
sex
me.
is good, really good with him.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the toys?
Yeah, that's the one thing. It's like if I go to reach in my drawer, he's just like, no, like why? And I'm just like, fuck. So it kind of kills the mood a little bit.
Right. See, don't it? But you should just put it on his balls and be like, oh, that feels good.
Oh, I've tried. Like the one thing that I don't know if he's going to kill me for saying this. I don't give a shit. Is we have the ring with you put it on
Cock ring.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the vibrating. That's the one thing to where he's like, okay, like that's
a good
fine.
gateway.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like
the
the easing in, but he won't go with me to a sex store. He feels weird going in there.
Right.
But the girl that I used to date, I was the first girl that she had slept with.
Okay.
So it was kind of like the female crush. If I were to ever hook up with a girl, it'd be you. And we actually fell for each other. And we were all about like toys and trying this. And I felt kind of cool because I got to show her like the different things
Right.
that I've tried. So it went from one extreme to the other. Like I was just dating her and to going like, hey, I really want to go to a sex store, this and that. And
Right.
you just go, no, like why? Like he doesn't go to strip clubs. Like he's a great guy. But when it comes sexually later on, I feel like we would need to really have a talk.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because right now we're cool, but
the first few months is always the 2
Yeah.
months are the best. Like 6 months are the best, unfortunately. I mean, it's true. Things can go a year, 6 months to a year. You might want to spice it up. So it's not that you require toys then to have orgasm. I mean, do you?
I mean, it's he knows it's way easier for me when I use a toy. And I just watched a bit of Cat Williams where he says like we're fucking up our vaginas because we're taking the little bullets and stuff to our clit and we can get off in 20 seconds. And then it's like harder for the dude. And you're just like, come on, I could have used my toy. And it is true.
That's
the
what
more
I've been
that
saying for years.
the more that
Best
I
guest ever.
She's not.
I know I do honestly I do think like a dude way more than I do a female,
Yeah.
and that's an issue too within a relationship that I have to work on.
I do.
But
I think I could do too.
Amazing.
so I would rather, and this is sad, like I would rather take care of myself within the 5-minute mark before I have to go to work or go run errands than block out a half an hour, an hour of trying to get off. Like for me personally, it does make more sense. That sucks, and I do love the emotional connection that I have with the guy. But I mean, I've definitely faked it to get it over with. I've definitely
With him?
No, not with him.
Okay.
But in the past, and it's also I have a headache. Like I feel like so cliche. I have a headache.
Right.
Like no, I didn't have a headache. It's just I knew I wasn't going to get off because I had a stressful day. It just wasn't going to happen.
Well,
So
that's the
I don't want
thing.
to. I don't want to fake it for you. So I'm just not going to do it.
Right. So then you just don't orgasm with them, but you're happy about your connection. I think eventually you're might have to bring. Well, I like that you're using the cock ring because that has a little clitoral. It has the vibrator on it that can hit your clitoris.
Yeah. He's very younger guys too. I found. Well, I have only one exception. He's very eager, like, and he has like the great stamina, which is awesome. But he's so cute. He goes, I don't think I've ever like made love. Like he doesn't, because for him, he's 22. He's never really been in like a super serious relationship. And he goes, can you teach me? And I'm like, you can't teach how to make love.
No.
We have great sex and we definitely are emotionally connected. But when you make love to somebody, it's very different. And like, I was going to sit there and be like, watch Meet Joe Black or watch, all of these like rom-coms or these like sappy emo movies, but you still can't fake it. So he's such a good guy and I want so much for us. It's only time will tell.
Right, exactly. And how would you describe making love?
I
It's hard. No, because I've been talking. It's like intimacy. It's looking each other's eyes, connecting, touching. Or maybe you're just in love, and then you're making love when you're not.
Well, because he goes, how do you not? Because it's very passionate. When we have sex, it's passionate. And I couldn't think about how to like break it down. But he goes, how is this not making love when you love the other person? I'm like, and again, he goes, so you've made love to other people. And I'm just like, fuck. Like,
Wow,
it was just
this
such
is
a
like
like buzz killer after sex. Because he goes, how is this not making love? I'm like, well, it's not. And he goes, well, this, shitty, like you know what that is. And like, you can't tell me. The first thing I would have said is speed. I don't feel like it's making love when you're fucking like jackhammer. Like that's not to
Jackhammer is
me.
anti-love.
Exactly.
Right.
Like we look in each other's eyes. The passion is there, but it's this feeling that you cannot explain, and that's what's such a shitty thing. You could love somebody and be in love with somebody. The sex might be off, or just like it was passionate but more rough. So you're just like, well, we had great sex, but.
Right.
If somebody were to ask me, did you guys just make love? It would have been like, no, that's not what that was.
Exactly. No, I get it. Well, he'll learn. I mean, what is great sex to you, though? If you're like, God, that was great sex. How would you define that?
For me, it's hard. Like I've actually, my therapist was actually a sex therapist. So I got to talk to her about everything. And for me, it is more of an intimacy issue to where I can have great sex with somebody and just be disconnected. And that's safer for me. And I like that. It's the whole looking into each other's eyes. It's the vulnerability that I'm just like, I'll pass on that. Like I'd rather have great sex and ask homie to leave after than to have you stay and cuddle me, afterwards and stuff. So great sex to me would be the before, the
Foreplay?
Hey, no, the like us having sex and then you going because I don't know how to handle the after of that. Like I don't know how to handle with him. Like we basically almost lived together, so it's different. But before, no, like I never had that where it's you can stay over. I'm going to cook for you, and that it's like no, we did a great
bringing out
date.
a nurturing part in you.
Yeah,
you want to like nurture him and like take care of him in a way.
Could be the age.
Could be the age too.
Because I have a 7-year-old, so I'm just like
right, 7-year-old boy.
Yeah,
and he lives with you.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. So you're also a mom. Mm-hmm. How's that for him? Is he?
That's also another touchy subject.
Right.
I never believed in my 20s about the clock ticking. I never believed that. And also because I had my son, I felt like I kind of went through that. I got married. I had my son. I'd be okay with not doing that again because I already went through it. So when I turned 30, I would see babies like and miss the age of, him being a baby, but not wanting more kids. As soon as I hit 31, it was like something that I kept avoiding. And I was just like, no, you don't want kids.
Oh.
And I didn't want it because I was comfortable with my situation. I was okay with that. But when I hit 31, I was like, why won't this go away? And it became such this like, devil and angel on your shoulder. You're just like, no, you don't. But, your body's telling you yes. And that shit is real.
It's so real,
It
right?
is real. And I hate that. I hate that.
So then you're thinking that you do want another one.
I definitely do.
Okay.
Like now I do. No matter how much I say I don't, I do want more kids. And have you guys seen the movie? Probably not. Nobody's really seen it. Prime with Uma Thurman. Mm-hmm. Okay,
no.
yeah.
Okay, good.
She's basically 37 dating a 23-year-old. And the Jewish mother doesn't approve because she's not Jewish. And at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, they date, they fall in love. He offers to give her a kid because she wants one. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the movie, she says, I couldn't do that to you because I love you so much. And they part ways. So for me, that's what I thought. Like, and I wanted to tell him, please watch this. But I'm like, oh, he's going to leave this with a bad feeling. Yeah. But it's something that we can't force. Age, I was 23 when I had my son. Wow. So I mean, I could tell him like, I want to keep your youth like as much as possible.
So the movie was about the movie like you're too young. I don't want to do this to you yet. Right?
Yes, that's pretty much what. And they had so much passion and love, and like their situation was great to where you root for them. But it does make sense to where you want their 20s not to make the same mistake you did, but I do tell all my girlfriends, like, wait till you're 30 because who I was at 20 is very different than who I am now.
So hard to have a kid. So you had it so young. I mean,
Yeah,
it is young.
yeah.
People don't
Married
realize that, you know.
Yeah, at 21 I was married. Wow. So it's like with him, he tells me, he's like, you can't talk to me like this because you did the same thing. What if somebody told you that? And I'm like, I wouldn't listen, but I'm like, I want to shake him and be like, don't say that you want something serious right now because this is where you should, like, he's gorgeous. He should be out dating tons of people. And then, I mean, probably if we talked when he's 30, I'd be already, you know, taken and with kids. But for him, there's so much that he should be doing. And if I were him, I would just be doing that.
So then you guys are together, but you're also saying, I don't know if this is going to work because I think I'm going to want children
on
soon.
my end. And he's trying to tell me, well, then we do that. And it's like, no, like I wouldn't do. And that's exactly what the movie is, where he's telling her, like, let me do this. And she's just like, I want it with you, but I can't do that to you.
It's only been 2 months, though, so I just wouldn't rush into it. But
No.
see what happens, right?
But
I
I
mean, it
mean,
sounds like you're not.
You don't want to break somebody's heart and make them believe something, and then you just be like, well, you should have saw the red flags.
Right.
It's like the open communication for me is like, this could happen. So just go, you know, through this with eyes open. I tell them it's just day by day. Like, don't plan the
Keep
future.
talking, right? And you got to keep talking.
Yeah, it's a
which is-
communication.
right?
Just
And
get a dog in the meantime.
I do have a dog, and I hate her.
You do why?
I do.
I know.
She's a teacup Shih Tzu. I hate her.
Can you give her away to a shelter? Or
My
something?
son loves her way too much.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
nice to her on his behalf, but I really
Why
like.
is she just annoying, or is she just
Yeah, like I got her because he asked for a sibling, and I said, "You get a dog," and they bonded quickly. But when he's not there, she's just. She's the kind of dog that will look you in the eye while she's shitting on your carpet. Like, she's that dog.
Oh my God.
She's the reason those Sarah McLachlan videos are fucking current right now, because there are so many days that it's just like, I want you to have one eye. Like, I'm just like so mad. But the mother in me and the non-animal abuse person that I am, it just like, I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to tell you no and then put you, in your kennel. So I do all that bullshit. It's like, fuck.
I know.
It's like
a dog, right? I get it.
So no, I do not want another dog.
All
I'm
right.
good.
No dog.
No dog. I got it. I mean,
Maybe
yeah.
a cat.
Yeah,
Or a
but no, I
fish.
think that I think you're going to figure this out. That's good. So okay, so what else do we have here? We have so many other things to talk to you about. I want to know. So you're in this relationship. Can we talk about the I'm going to go back to the bisexual thing for a moment. Because I always have, and I've hooked up with chicks. I guess that would be bisexual, but not lately. Mm-hmm. I probably need to. Could do that soon at some point again. But what would you say about having sex with women, a woman having sex with a woman that you think that is something that we can impart, like to audience, to our listeners, that you think that men just don't really understand about being with women, like pleasing women? Like, what is the most misunderstood thing?
I think that what a woman can offer that men really can't, or they just don't understand how to, is the sensuality. Like, I feel like men are more about the jackhammering, and women are more about being sensual and actually paying attention. And because I don't think it's women know what women want, but it's a connection. Like your girlfriend, you would tell your girlfriend something that you wouldn't tell your guy friend. So it's kind of like you're more into exploring without judgment with a woman than I think you are about, or with a guy, because the guy's ego will get bruised. That being said, the toys, and like I would be more open with a girl than saying, hey, you want to first date, you want to pull this out? They're gonna be like, fuck no. A girl would be like, yeah, bring it. What else we got?
What are you waiting for, right?
Yeah.
What toys do you like? What are your favorite toys?
See, the thing for me is I never put anything on the inside.
Okay.
For two reasons. So basically, vibrators on the outside. One,
clitoral.
Yeah, exactly. One, I can't get off on the inside with the toy. It feels so foreign, and it's just not. I can't. It's gonna sound vulgar. I can't fuck myself like that. It's not for me. And the second thing is I was always worried about if I could get myself off, then I would never really want to have sex with a guy.
Right.
Intimacy issues or whatever, where it's like, oh, I'll just take
but
care of
that's true. I
myself.
get it. The clitoral, or I mean, that's the ones that are the most, and that's why you use it during intercourse, because most women just aren't getting enough clitoral stimulation. They just can't. The penis doesn't work that way. Your body, some of our bodies, just no matter how we move, we're just going to need a little extra.
something.
No, a little something. It's just so true. So yeah, which clitoral toy do you like?
I use the bullet. That's
So
just so
They're
easy to travel with. And the reason why I bought the bullet, I was at the airport and I fucking put my toy in a sock to like pack up, and it was a carry-on. I was going to New York, I think. And they opened it up, and when they opened it, it was like on the ground. And I was just like, oh my God. Out of the sock it went, oh my God. And so I was like, you know what? It needs to be like a little more compact. And the bullet just saves my life. So we'll just go with that.
It does. No, the bullet is awesome. Little tiny bullet.
Yeah, it does its job.
I love the bullet. I have one on. Oh, I have one around my neck, actually.
Yeah, you do.
I have the Vesper necklace. It's a vibrating necklace. I should have brought you one. I'll
That's
bring you one.
amazing.
Yeah.
And what's
feel
the speed though?
You're
Okay.
gonna die.
Yeah.
No, I want to give this to you. We'll give you. It's called the Vesper by Crave. Check this out. It's
That
like,
sounds
feel this.
legit. Hold on, I'm reaching over.
Wow.
That's nice.
Right. And
Okay.
It charges USB. It's really cool.
I
All
told
right.
you about that. My old assistant back in San Francisco, we lived in the same building, and she asked me, "It's like, oh, can you help me move this bed?" And I was helping her move it, and then this thing fell on the ground, and I pick it up, and I was like, "Oh, this thing looks kind of like a bullet. What is this?" And then I hit the button, and it started vibrating.
That's amazing.
Her whole face just turned red.
We
She
never
almost
want
died.
anyone else to be touching or knowing about our
Yeah.
sex toys. Like,
So that's a
let's be
necklace,
honest.
though.
It's
Yeah.
it's a necklace, and it charges USB. Well, I'll bring you one next time. It's
Yeah,
called
I'd
the
love one.
Vesper by Crave. You can get it at goodvibes.com, and then it charges USB, and you just plug it in. I know.
And wear it around your neck all the time.
All the time. So
In
you
the
are
car. Yeah, you're good to go.
Sometimes I have no water. I forget my ID, but like I've got my
Yeah.
vibrator around my neck. So
Priorities.
it's always a good day. Exactly. I totally prioritize it. So that's good. I was wondering if maybe you could help us answer some emails
Yeah.
from the listeners
Love to.
after we give a big shout out to the people who make this show possible, which is what we're going to do first. Right, Madison? Okay. So how we're going to do that is going to, there they are. Okay. Speaking of orgasms and stuff, I need to talk to you about the fleshlight. Oh, this is about the penis. Have you ever used a fleshlight?
No.
Male masturbation sleeve.
No, but I've used the Glow Buddy. But tell me about the flashlight.
Okay, so the fleshlight is a male masturbation sleeve, so it looks and feels like the real deal. Has patented skin material, so it feels like their penis is inside of a vagina,
Sure.
or an anus, whatever they want.
Okay.
They have them, a lot of them, like modeled after porn stars, playmates, but they also just have ones that just look like a regular, like, you know, they look nondescript, but it looks like a flashlight. But it's a flashlight, it has a little cap on it, and you know, we've got so many toys, as we're saying, but men only have their hand. And so if you use a flashlight, it can help you last longer in bed. They've got the stamina training unit. They've got the Fleshlight Go, which is great for travel. And now there is the Quick Shot. So the Quick Shot is like the size of a camera lens. And so let's say, how do you feel about blowjobs, giving blowjobs or hand jobs?
If I really like the guy, then I'm all about that
You're
life.
down. Okay, you're about that life. She's in the blowjob life. So the Quick Shot helps make it even easier because you can put it on his penis, or a hand job, and it's a little thing. It goes around like when your mouth is going up and down. It's a suction. It feels amazing. You use lots of lube with it. Guys love it. They go crazy. So if you want a fleshlight, check it out. Go to sexwithemily.com. Click on the fleshlight banner. Use code Emily, and you get a free bottle of their award-winning flesh lube. I love lube. How do you feel about lube?
I just tried coconut oil.
Oh,
It was more of a production than it was
it's
an
like
actual.
messy. It smelled like coconuts.
And in the back of my head, I think of like KY jelly as lube only. So I'm like, is this going to make me burn?
Oh.
Is this like, so I'm just like, this is an experiment. Let's have fun. So rubbing it on each other was great. But in the back of my head, I was like, this is the first time. I don't know how my body's going to react to
right.
it. So
but it reacted fine. Yeah.
yeah.
Because I always think people need a little bit of a lube to stuff. I like it, but coconut oil is great. And actually, I wouldn't use KY from the drugstore because it's not as good. Like the other brands, the ones that have a little more, like I like Sliquid or Pure. You know, they're a little more expensive, but they won't burn your vagina.
Okay, well, that's
that
good.
Stuff happened. Yeah, I'll tell you. We should have brought a goodie. We'll bring you one next time we come. Okay, we're gonna do some emails.
All right.
Okay, everyone, thanks for emailing us feedback@sexwithemily.com, and we love hearing from you. And if you could just tell us how old you are and where you are writing from, where you live, and how you listen to the show, we would love that. Dear Emily, how can I tell if a woman is being nice because of her job or if she might be interested in me? I was in my local bank and I had a problem, and the lady who was helping me asked another lady to come over to help. The lady who came over was stunning, my dream girl. When I left the bank, I told her I owed her a cup of coffee for her help. I asked her how she liked her coffee. She told me. So I told her I would surprise her, and I went about my day. I came back later that afternoon with the coffee, and we chatted a little. I've done this another time 3 weeks later. What kind of signs would let me know if I should try to pursue her further? Thanks for your help, C.
Ooh, that's a tricky
It's
one.
really
How do you know if a woman's
Yeah.
interested or not?
Did she throw away the cup of coffee?
She's like, thanks, dude. I don't know.
Or did
I
she
don't know.
drink it?
See, I have a question too about that. So I'm with Homie's question. My boyfriend thinks if a girl just says hello back, the guy will take it as she's interested. So
Really?
if,
But
yeah,
But that's
like
also a cultural thing too, maybe, right?
no, both of my exes.
Oh, both of them? They,
Because
Really?
in our industry, I meet a lot of directors, male models, blah blah blah. And so if I'm friendly but not flirty, and the way that I say hi or the way that I interact, they tell me that it could be misinterpreted as being interested. I'm like, no, but I have a boyfriend. And I tell them, he goes, it doesn't matter. He goes, we take the slightest sign and you smile at us, and it's like, oh, well, if something doesn't work out with the boyfriend, then I'd be the first one that she calls. So I'm kind of confused in this because I feel like I'm naive when it comes to shit like this.
Well,
All right, this is the first time I'm ever hearing this, but again, I don't hang out with a bunch of male models where women might be interested in me if I just say hello to them, you know?
Right.
So you might be in a different stratosphere than the average.
She's in another stratosphere. Look at
yeah,
her. Right.
The average
No, if
person,
you're in line
but
getting coffee and a guy bumps into you, says, oh, I'm sorry, and you look back and you're like, oh, no problem. And he goes, how's your day? Oh, good. It's you continuing the conversation, even though you're just being polite, that guy might be like, oh, we're still going. So with this guy, he keeps bringing her coffee. For me, I would be polite and strike up conversation, but that doesn't mean that I'm interested. That being said, as a woman, I don't really flirt or give signs, so I don't know how I would say. I would be upfront and be like, you want to go out sometime.
Exactly.
For me, I would say that.
Totally. I think that he's like pussyfooting around, and he just needs to be like, hey, so let's take this coffee, you know, now let's go to lunch. Let's graduate to lunch. I'd love to take you to lunch sometime. What do you think? And then he'll get the answer. She might be like, no, I'm not interested.
Or I have a boyfriend or
I have
something.
a boyfriend. Right. And then you'll know, and then you don't have to waste all your money on coffee, bringing this chick coffee, because you'll know. Because I think the signs are blurred, because I think when I was reading this, like for me, I know that I'm a very friendly person, and I'm always nice to everybody. I was like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. I'm from the Midwest. I don't know if that's it. But it's often been confusing to men where they think I'm flirting, because I also am a little flirty.
Yeah.
I think I've gotten less flirty. So, do you think?
Maybe.
You know
I
me?
don't know. I don't.
You don't pay attention to that.
Are you flirty just by nature? Or
I
are you
am
flirty
by
because
nature.
you are still open-minded and maybe things will happen?
Kind of, but you know what? I think I'm flirty by nature, because this has been since like I was, high school. You're like, oh, is she flirting? I'm like, no, I'm just like I like meeting men, women. I'm open, and so I think that it can be misconstrued a lot. But I'm also not like an angry. Like I'll say hi if you say hi. I'll strike up a conversation, men, women, and so I think that it can be misread sometimes that women are interested. I think guys just want to look at, and he's like, I hope she is. I'll go for that. And so if they ask me out, though, I'll be clear. I'm like, no, I'm not interested. Thank you so much. And in fact, since I've been doing this show for so long, I know that a lot of our listeners have the same exact question. A lot of guys can't read the signs from women, and women can't read the signs from men. And then you hit your head like years later, you're like, I didn't know you liked me. So I think you just got to ask. You just got to like, do you want to go out? That's how you get your answer. Or, are you interested? So then you just don't waste your time like worrying or letting fear stop you too. Like guys like, I don't want to be rejected. Well, guess what? We're all going to be rejected. Like that's part of life. That's what makes you stronger. And so just go for it.
What's weird though is I feel like with all my guy friends, and I've asked them, and you can, as a man, you can say for your girlfriend, all my guy friends said that they would rather their girlfriend be a bitch to other men rather than being sweet. And this is all my guy friends. So if you're in line, said coffee line, and a guy looks over and he says, oh, I'm sorry. And you just like give them like the nod and then go straight back. It shows right away that you're not interested. And he said, that's because we don't want our girl to seem available, but also we don't want that guy to be kind of confused too. Like, oh, it is open for conversation. I've asked all of my guy friends and they said they would rather their girl be a bitch to any other man, so it doesn't confuse the guy. And I'm like, I would feel so wrong. Somebody bumps into me and I don't say like, oh, no, don't worry about it. I might even like touch like their shoulder and be like, it's okay. Right. And if you take that as like me advancing towards you, then it's like, oh, like that's a weird feeling
just
to
jealousy,
me.
I think, from men. Like that's your boyfriend's wanting to protect
Oh,
themselves.
no, not him. Like I'm saying my guy friends.
Or your guy friends in general.
Friends.
Okay, that's
that's
guys
a
in general.
Bit extreme. The only situation where I would probably want you to be a bitch, if there's somebody that you know that I don't like and you're being nice to them, that would annoy me. But
the disrespect.
Yeah, that's very rare. Though.
Because I could be nice, and then if I see that they're coming on, I'll just say, I have a boyfriend. And there's even been guys though. Since I've been doing the show, and I realize that so many men have this issue and it's so hard for them to get up the courage just to ask a woman out. I mean, we just hear that it can be paralyzing for men, for so many. And so when I've had guys ask me out, I've said, thank you so much for asking me, no, I have a boyfriend or I'm not interested, but please keep asking women out. And like, don't let this be discouraging. I think it's awesome how you did it. Like I give them feedback. I don't want them to feel that bad. I give them $5. No, just kidding. But I'm like, keep going. Like that's good for you. Because it's really hard.
I didn't know that it's like traumatizing for men. That's
okay.
It is pretty much.
I didn't know that either until I started the show and got all these emails. And then started talking to like dating coaches and just getting thousands of emails over the years that for men, it can be, I mean, yeah, definitely at a young age. Like definitely guys, and I didn't know that guys in high school, all they were thinking about was banging you. Even in college, like that's all their mind is consumed with sex. And I didn't know that either. I also didn't know the problem that they have just approaching women. And so I have such empathy now, sympathy for them. And I want to try to like help them and encourage them because I just feel bad. I feel that, and it's also something that you have to overcome.
Right.
And it's like a muscle. And once you get used to asking women out and you're like, oh, got rejected, it's okay. I'm not going to die. Like Menace always says, like, you're not going to die from asking
Nothing
someone
physically
out.
bad is going to happen to you. Your
Right.
feelings might be hurt a little bit, but you just move on to the next.
Right. And it's a lot of younger guy thing. I mean, some guys suffer into their older years.
Yeah.
but
I mean,
guys-
you get more and more confident as you get older.
Yeah. So I just want to help them out here. Okay. We got an oral sex question, which is my favorite topic. Dear Emily, I'm having casual sex with a friend tomorrow. I'm bringing condoms, lube, etc., but I'm not sure if I need to bring anything else. Also, I'm scared of eating out. When I've been in this spot before, I've been that guy who's refused, pussied out. Now I'm fully aware that she loves oral, period. What the hell should I do? How should I prepare myself to do something that I know it's going to be hard? The smell, it's new, and perform well, at least decent. Sincerely, Matt, long-time listener. First time going down. I think he's got to stop psyching himself out. Because whenever you're trying something new, you have to work through your fears. Get out of your head. Let go of expectations. She knows that you haven't done it. Like, it sounds like they're friends. And she's really into oral sex. And the good thing is that he's with someone that could be a teacher, I think. And he could just be like, what do you like? But first, go slow. Warm her up. Do the regular foreplay things. Don't go dive right for the clitoris. Don't you agree that if you're not warmed up and guys go right for it, that you can just, it can be uncomfortable? Do you feel that way?
Yeah. But I am right there with
With him, you're scared. Yeah. Well, you've gone. So, what would you say are oral sex tips to go down on a woman?
I don't give head unless I'm in a relationship. So, and I don't expect the guy to do it to me because I'm not going to do it to them. It's a respect thing. So it's like, hey, homie, I'm not going to do that. So you don't have to. Sometimes I do think foreplay is overrated. And I think that when you're caught up in the moment, you just go straight to having sex. I'm okay with that. That being said, if he does want to do that and he wants to enjoy it, then a friend would be the best person to teach
test
him.
it out.
Yeah.
So, what are your best tips for oral sex on a woman?
On a woman, well, for me, what I like, and guys don't really do it as often as they should, is fingers and tongue. Like a lot of guys just think that the alphabet with their tongue or going from the clit to in. It's just, the woman's so complicated. I'm jealous of the guys being able to get off no matter what.
No matter what.
And that's something that I've always envied. But for us, it is like a Rubik's Cube. Like, and it sucks for them. What?
See, best guess ever.
Menace
Swear.
always says that vaginas are the Rubik's Cube of life.
Yeah, it is.
I've
My mind is
quoted you
getting
on.
blown right now.
He loves you. He doesn't usually like anyone.
and like it sucks because I am a woman and I want to have good oral done to me, but at the end of the day, the chances are it's probably not going to be as good as having sex.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So I mean, I'm kind of giving him like a hey, you don't have to, because she might like it, but she also might be super sensitive and it's easy for her. But for all the girlfriends that I've talked to, we enjoy it, but we wouldn't choose it over sex, like at all.
Wow, because
sometimes
Emily
I
said
would.
I would straight up not be with somebody if they didn't.
I
do
wouldn't
that.
be with someone if they didn't want to. If they didn't go down on me.
She's all about it.
Yeah.
Is it an ego thing?
Oh no! I love it. Like
Okay.
it warms me up. Then I can have like more orgasms during sex if I already had like knock one out during oral. It gets me like super turned on.
I
it a
get
lot.
more turned on by giving the guy that I'm into head than him touching me at all.
Okay, so can we? This
Wow.
This is
You
amazing.
just gained like 10,000 followers.
Here's the thing. Jessa Hinton, follow her on Twitter and Instagram. So many men and women don't feel that way. And they think, in fact, women all the time are like, how can I learn to enjoy it? Like, how can I
That's
get
crazy.
turned on?
And you know what it is? And again, like I can have my guy on the show or whatever. So we could not be dry humping or anything. And if I go down on him, and that's the first kind of interaction we have sexually, and he puts his finger down there, like, I'm good to go. Like, it's just, and so it's like an actual, there's proof. I'm not just saying like, oh yeah, I want my man to be happy. It's like my body tells me, and it's me making the guy that I care about or the girl that I care about feel good. And that's something that, again, with intimacy is weird for me. But as long as they're feeling good, that turns me on. I think with guys too, when guys enjoy going down on girls or getting a girl off, that turns them on. The second a girl says, I'm going to come, they're like, oh, me too. So for me, 100%, I would rather me give the guy that I'm into head than him going down on me.
Oh, okay. And you're still having pleasure during sex. That's amazing. Like I always tell women, like, it's an extension of someone that you like or that you love, and they're get into the moment of giving them pleasure because that can feel really good. But if people aren't in that mindset as being a giver, you can't talk them into it. But I think that's great, and you're a great example of that because people just don't get it. But I think for him, but the basic tips are just make contact with the clitoris, start very slow, rub her thighs, lick lightly.
Yeah, the kissing on the inside of the thighs, that's
amazing.
Sometimes better than the clit. It's just that feeling, you're just like, oh.
There's so many nerve endings everywhere. It's not just the 8,000 in the clitoris. It's like all over that region. So just go slow, use your hands, and mouth and fingers, and pay attention and ask her questions. She's a great teacher for you, I think. And use your fingers. She might not like it though. Some women do, some women don't.
That's it. Oh,
I know they don't.
Weird.
Some women don't.
Well, they're not all the same, Emily.
They're the Rubik's Cube of life. So I understand what you're saying. Okay. So we could get into another email? Oh, yeah. All right. This one, do you want that one? Which one do we want here? Mixed feelings over X. Dear Emily, I'm struggling to keep my relationships. Every time I date someone, it seems like the feelings on my part fade quickly. It's terrible. My latest ex signed up for the Marines, and before he joined, I broke up with him because it seemed like the feelings faded. We're still good friends. Before he left, we spent a few hours together and talked and hung out. It seemed like he was sort of flirting with me, and then he mentioned he has a girlfriend. I sort of miss him, but I don't know whether it's because I'm jealous he's with someone else or I really miss him. He's a great guy. He's at a boot camp now, gets back in 10 weeks, and I need to figure out what I'm feeling before he gets back and I possibly make a huge mistake. Please help me. I'm tired of feelings fading and then feel them again after a few months. Obscure in Oklahoma.
I mean, can I just jump in real quick?
Go.
I mean, she didn't hang out with the guy for a while. And then she got to hang out with him again, and it felt exciting again. And it will just fade away,
Please help me signed every girl ever.
Yeah,
Exactly.
He's so cool now, and I miss him. And then you're back with him for a couple weeks, and you're like, oh, now I know why I left him,
Yeah, it's classic, right? You like someone, then they go away, or you hear they have another girlfriend, and you get attached again. I mean, I think this is like classic attachment issues that a lot of us have. That we get attached, and she might also be having some intimacy things too, intimacy issues, because when you get something that you think you want, and then you have it, and then you realize it could get closer, your feelings might fade after that as well, because you're like, oh, I already got it, but I don't want to get closer. It could, so that's kind of an attachment / intimacy thing. And it's also true, and it sounds like she's younger. She might be young, in her early 20s, I'm guessing.
I mean, if he just joined the Marines.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. So I think that that she probably realizes that she... Yeah, I don't even know what's happening here.
They're on the computer at the same time, guys.
No, because I wanted to find it. It just jumped around. I don't know what happened.
Madison can control, just to let everybody know what's going on, Madison can control
my document, and I wanted to read what else she said here. So I'm guessing she's young.
Inside.
I think she just got to, take a step back because you already ended it with him, and now you're classically stating that he's got a girlfriend, and so you're interested again.
She's a woman. Just go somewhere and say you're available, and you'll find somebody. It's easy.
Yeah, exactly. And the feelings going up and down. That's something that we all deal with until we don't. Until you meet someone and you're ready, and you just might not be ready right now. But don't. It's got a girlfriend. Let him go with that, and you can be friends with them.
You don't need all that unnecessary drama.
Exactly.
For someone that you think you still might like.
Well, I think also you have the other side where it's Maybe they broke up for stress, reasons that we don't know about. And then she starts the whole grass is greener on the other side. She goes, it shouldn't be this tough. I'm all speaking for her. It shouldn't be this tough. And she goes, let's just part ways because clearly we're better off, without each other. And then you start to date and maybe he's also just into it, jumped into a new relationship. And then you're like, wait a minute, all of these like weird things I have to start over with somebody else. We should have just fixed what we had because what we had is very different than all of the guys that I date. And the second that another girl is present, you're just like, shit, he was a good guy and maybe I fucked up.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, it could be the realization like, oh, somebody else will value him and I should have. So, and I've been in that situation to where I've just been kind of like a bitch where I'm like, it's done. Like, get your shit. Like, we're over. We shouldn't be fighting as much as this. And it's like everybody else does. But with social media, we see the relationship goals and we see everybody else in this happy picture. So we're like, well, I'm going to find that later on. If it's not with you and you're not going to bend to me, I'll find that. And it's like, no. Relationships are work. If you love somebody, you have to do it.
It's true.
So
are
it could
work.
be that for her. Maybe she's just, miserable being alone. So she wants to be back with him. But I think it could be a real realization of like, hey,
that's
we
a good
were
point.
good together and maybe we should have worked on it.
Yeah, that could be it
I
too.
mean,
That's a good.
I agree with that. I think a lot of people just give up too easy
Agreed.
these days.
Yeah,
Agreed.
And then they feel
Agreed.
sorry about it.
They give up, but then also, what do you think about? I love that you met your boyfriend over Instagram because, again, there are so many ways to meet people now. And you made a great point, surprisingly, a few weeks ago, where
I always do. You just
I'm
fail
kidding,
to
you always
recognize
do.
it.
But it was awesome because we were talking about, and there's a lot of talk about this lately, how social media has changed the way we date, not just online dating, but even beyond that. Now that even if you're, like you were saying, you're sitting on your couch at home alone, you still have 10,000 people you could have access to just sitting there and text and like and poke and all that stuff. So there is this certain, like, it's not working, but there's 8,000 other people I could date right now that are all liked my
social
photo.
media. I hate it.
You do.
I hate it for relationships. I mean, what does my ex say? A shoulder to lean on or a shoulder to cry on is a dick to ride on. So it's like all of these people on social media that look great and the Facetune and morphing their bodies and their life is so glamorous. The second that you and your girl get in a fight, you can just go there and be like, oh, well, that bitch wants me. Look at this DM. So I hate it for that reason. And I have met him on it. And he's a great looking guy. So he gets DMs all the time to where it's like you have to be cautious because you are scared. It's not even insecurity on your part because you know that you're a great person. It's like one like minute fight could be like, you know what? I have 10 other bitches or me. Like I have rich guys that are offering me the world and you do give up. And then you just kind of like go completely opposite ways where it's like, oh, like it isn't as great as everybody, seems. And this bitch that's hot is crazy and she's stabbing people. Like nobody knows what it is, but it's losing the connect with meeting face to face, the guy getting coffee for the girl. It's so much easier on social media, but it's also a curse because it is that whole fear of like asking out in person. It's different to type behind a keyboard than to get the balls up and be like, I like you. Do you like me? You lose sight of like what was important in the first place.
Exactly. I totally agree. And that there is a certain generation now that grew up, the younger generation that only grew up with the phones and they don't know how to even talk. It's not even, talk about asking out, but even just how to like approach them and talk to them.
Yeah.
And like I was at a concert, I went to Acoustic Christmas, the K-Rock thing, and it was funny because there was like pockets of women that we were like in the back, the VIP, whatever area, but there was like lots of women that were like, probably like 22, early 20, and they were all like 4 of them, all on their phones, like for like an hour, and it's like, but there were guys around, and they're like, wanting to look really good on Instagram for some people out there in the world, but yet there was all these other people they could have been talking to, and it's just like it's a safety shield.
Even like when you go to dinner or lunches, the girls or guys, and I yell at my boyfriend for this, where we could be talking and their phones are, and they see like an Instagram pop up or like a Snapchat thing, they're just like. And you're like mid conversation,
right?
And the people that you're there with, like for me, whenever I go to dinner, it goes in my purse. And that's something that I want to teach my son. And somebody's like, "Well, did you get your son a phone yet?" I was like, "My son's 7." They're like, "Yeah, my son has had a phone for." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" And I'm the crazy one. I'm like, "Bitch, I didn't even have a beeper." Like I was like, I had to walk to school hoping that I wouldn't get picked up by somebody. Like the fact that we're giving the youth this early, and the DMs that I get that are the most pervy are from kids, are from teenagers, where you're just like, go back to school, do your homework, and it's nasty things that they write. And I actually posted, and I felt bad. I posted a blast of every single pervy kid.
No
and I
way.
posted it on Instagram and on Twitter. And I said, whoever is raising these boys need to actually take more time away from their job and focus on raising
No
them.
way. With their handles?
With their handles. I mean, it was like things that not even the dirtiest, like one of my guy friends talking to one of his boys would say. Like, it's bad.
Because they're learning it in porn.
And so young, and they're also, there's no balls. Say that to my face.
Yeah.
You would
Oh,
never
they would
say
never
that.
say that.
That's what
Never.
I'm saying, and that's what we're teaching our
They
youth.
couldn't even
and
come
it's
and
sad.
ask you to take a selfie if they saw you and they were a fan, but they could send you things like that.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. Well, yeah, don't get your kid a phone for a while.
Nope.
Okay, Jessa, everyone should check out your podcast.
Please.
The Get It Podcast 1. And tell me, we're going to have all of this on my website as well, but what can people look for, like, in your podcast coming up? Anything great shows? Anything goes with Jessa Hinton?
I'm actually going to have my 7-year-old on.
Oh,
way.
what?
So that is literally like anything goes. Like 1 week it's relationships. He definitely wants to break into the business. And the Bill Cosby thing, kids say the darndest things.
Yeah.
Oh, this kid. So I'm going to actually have him on around the holidays, and we're going to talk about all the things that he got, that he wanted for Christmas that he didn't get for
I love
Christmas.
it.
So that's the next
That's
thing I'm going to
awesome.
have. Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
great. Well, thank you so much for being here with us. It's so
Thank
great to
you.
meet you. And thank you, Menace.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, producer Madison. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, everyone, for just being you. I love you all. Thanks so much for listening. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com. Okay, so I'm going to talk about one more thing here, and that is the magic wand, Jessa. Jessa, do you know about the magic wand?
Tell me.
The magic wand is the Cadillac of all vibrators. You know that you ever use the magic wand?
No.
Plugs into the okay. It used to plug into the wall. It was like that big thing with the okay. So, oh my God, it is the Cadillac of all vibrators. It plugged into the wall, but now this year it became rechargeable, unplugged. 30 years it's been around, provides powerful penetrating vibrations. It's external only. It's liberated from your bedroom wall. The mind-blowing magic wand is the closest to an orgasmic sure thing many of us have ever experienced. And now it's unplugged. So check it out. It's your sure thing on the go, and you can go to magicwandrechargeable.com.